Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by the garden today. It's going to be a real rainy day today. We're getting into the end of April, beginning of May, and my succulents are really starting to take off. There are tons of different kinds of succulents. These are Kalanchoes. They are getting really big. You can see how big the little babies are on the bottom of this container in here. And she's getting really root bound for this pot. Now, it's in a really small pot and I have a lot of succulents in here. So we're going to have to transplant these outside. And once they go outside, they are really going to start taking off. So succulents will grow to the pot size they're in. If you keep transplanting them up a stage, then they'll grow bigger. So we're going to go ahead and put these outside because they're just getting way too big, and I can cut and propagate off of these like crazy. And I want to show you the finished result. So we had transplanted some of these outside. We just dug a hole, plopped them in. We didn't water right away. Anytime you are transplanting succulents, you do not want to water right away. Just wait a couple of days so there's no chance of any rot coming in. And you can see how they're lacking water on the bottom leaves, how dark and linky they are. They're flapping, they're falling off, they're drying up, and the tops are really nice and healthy because the tops are sucking up the energy from the bottom. Now we had to kind of switch our succulents around because they're getting really stretchy. So we put them on my western facing exposure window, and we kept this one on the southern side because we're going to put it outside, and I want to show you what they look like after a few months of being outdoors. Real quick, I just wanted to stop by and show you this little guy before we went outside to look at the other Kholanchoe, mother of 1,000 babies. That's the name of this little one. I'm not sure of the other little guy that's in there, but he's that other Kholanchoe that we just showed you. He's a different type. And this one was basically propagated the same time as the ones out in front of my garden, and we'll go and take a look. Alright you guys, so these succulents and cacti are taking off. This is my queen of the night, which she is getting so big. I definitely have to transplant her. The baby's even getting big, and she's blooming again. I can't even believe she's blooming again. Look at those blooms on her. I didn't think she was going to bloom again in the summertime, spring, summer. She's only supposed to bloom in the fall. And I have another one down there that I didn't even know. So we have 3 already, 4. Oh my gosh, look at that. We're finding blooms everywhere. So we know she's happy. This is just another type of succulent I have. It's not a type of Kholanchoe, but those are Kalanchoes, and you can see how big they're getting. They're the same age as the one inside. So look at the ones on the far left. Can you see how big they got? That is probably about twice the size of the one inside. So if they're outside in the full sun, they're going to grow a lot bigger. And they're going to start shooting those babies off of the leaves. We'll go out in the garden on the side of the house and show you what I'm talking about. Alright you guys, so we're outside by our snapdragons in the garden. These are planted directly in the ground, and these are just as old as that little one we've seen in this container right here. But the big ones have been growing outside its whole life, and this one's been in this little container its whole life. So you can see they'll grow to their pot size. Once you up that pot size, give them the full sun. So the little one's only getting about 6 hours of sun. These are getting a full 8 to 10. And you can see how big they are, the beautiful foliage on them underneath, and all those little babies, all that stuff on the leaves, around the leaves, which is why it's called the mother of 1,000 babies. They're going to drop on the ground and turn into more babies, more plants. So these are very invasive Kalanchoes, Kholanchoes. It's said both ways. You just want to let them drop on the ground. You can propagate these by their leaves. So they propagate by their leaves on this side of the stem versus a regular succulent on that side towards the stem. These just come off. They'll pop off little by little, and they'll propagate themselves in the ground, just like this little guy did from my other succulents. So let's go on the other side of the garden and show you how big these little guys get. Because remember the first ones I showed you? That's this little fella. That was the second one I showed you, mother of 1,000 babies. This is a different Kholanchoe. So we're going to go over and see what these look like once they're in the ground for a while. Alright you guys, so check it out. Look how big these Kholanchoes have gotten. So that is the same one as the ones in the tin container that we have to transplant outside here. And you can see just how big they're getting. They're starting to get this really defined stuff on their leaves. So you can see how they're fattening up with this stuff pointing out. Do you see this? Just like the other Kholanchoe. But when you're growing them inside, they have flat leaves. See, they normally stay like this under low conditions. which is about 6 hours to 8 hours, but in 10 hours of sun, they really start growing, getting clumpy, and they start expanding their leaves a little bit. They start getting a little different looking. And I'm not sure when this one's gonna flower, but you can see it's nice and plump, it's healthy. All the way down to the bottom, I have it interplanted with some parsley, some sunflowers, and I made a little flower pollinator mix all around the parsley in the back and on the side, so we can have nice flowers around these guys too. Nice pink flowers to bring out the pink foliage on the edges. But you can see she gets really pink foliage on the tips, like a red pink color when she's in full sun, compared to inside she kind of stays greenish. Can you see that brown pinkish edge? They really don't require much water. These are really big leaved succulents, so they really don't require much water at all. I just kind of let them do what Mother Nature does. I let these little guys in the garden stay out here and get the rain as it rains from the sky, or as I water, which I don't water this side too much because that's why I have parsley here. You can let parsley go a little bit without watering when it's in the ground. Parsley can stand drought conditions, but not too long. Like, they can stay dry for a day or so without wilting. So these succulents are perfect to plant with them. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. We're going to do a little video on planting that fella out here, along with some more. We're going to interplant them in our garden so we can have a nice, beautiful garden to come with some mixed veggies in there, some flowers. And I hope you guys just enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Take another look at these beautiful mother of 1,000 babies over here. I love these little guys. So just remember, if you plant them in the ground, they're going to grow really big, they're going to be healthier, and this is kind of what they should be looking like, with them little babies popping out. If you're in Florida, here in end of April, beginning of May. Have a great day, guys, and thank you so much for watching. Comment below if you have any questions or comments. I'd love to hear from you, and let me know what you're growing. I'd love to hear what you're growing in the garden as far as succulents or any kind of plants you got going on. Please remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more to come. And have a great day, guys. Happy planting. Bye-bye.